Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to the Board YouTube channel. This is the Pick and Roll live stream here, presented by FanDuel, where we go through the slate of NBA games, we give analysis, and we hear free picks from my co-host PipsNBA. We've been winning this season, and playoffs have been pretty good for us so far as well. If you guys have been enjoying the content, if you guys enjoyed today's content, please make sure you do smash the like button, and to keep up to date with all of our content for the rest of the playoffs, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Let's try to get to 50 plus likes once again on today's stream. As always, though, before we go into the games, before we end off the show with the Q&A, we do a recap of the previous show's picks, where the previous show had 3 picks. We had 2 big SGPs, and we had a 1-unit play on Julius Randle. The half-unit big SGPs lost. The 1-unit play was a winner, so it was a break-even day. 0 units up or down. Julius Randle, 24 points, needed 18.5. Jokic, a little bit of a casualty of the absolute destruction laid down by the Oklahoma City Thunder, so didn't get the minutes that we needed there. As for Jason Tatum on his side of the big SGP, he just had a really bad game and didn't come through for us there, Pips. Any thoughts from you on the picks?
Tatum was supposed to get there with the volume on assists. The threes never came. Weird game. Jokic 50 points blowout, so nothing to say there. Like in some different environment, this definitely wins if it's a closer game. So kind of nothing to say. Tatum covered 15.5 rebounds and assists. My bad. If you got this, you win. That was the initial read. I made it complicated without much reason. So live and learn. We move, and we can go to the first game of today.
Yeah, first game of today. I mean, the playoffs have been absolutely extraordinary so far, in part because the Indiana Pacers are up 2-0 against the Cavaliers. Indiana now at home for Game 3, already up 2-0. Cleveland, though, still favored to win this game, minus 3.5 on the spread. But, Pips, you still like a Pacers player for this game to get us started.
Yeah, so the first one is interesting spot. We are going to bet Neesmith. First comment at the same time, and it's about Neesmith. And yeah, we are going to bet Aaron. Multiple reasons for this, but matchup wise, I would say last 2 games 23 and 17 points. Yeah, good shooting, but this was like game where he was in foul trouble, played only 25 minutes, still could got to 17. If he made 1-3 less, he's still covering this. Usage 22%. First game,
So you
17.
You want his points, right? Over
Yeah,
points?
over 12.5, minus 115, minus 112.
Yeah,
minus
minus
120.
112
Widely available, but minus 1. What? What's the price on FanDuel?
Unless it's just adjusted. Let me see.
It was minus 112.
Minus 112 in FanDuel.
Yeah, so up to minus 120 wild available. Okay. Usage, last 2 games. I will say first, let's look at 3 games he played against the Cleveland. Usage, all 3, 25%, 24%, 22%, and 17%. So between 17 and 25, average 22%. Good matchup for him with the way that they defend Siakam and Halliburton. He gets the looks more against the Cavs than in the other average game. So when we look at the entire season for him, when we put between conservative 14 to 24% usage for Neesmith, and when we take a look at the games where he played more than let's say 25 minutes, because last game he played 33, so that's something like usual rotation for him. When we look at the games where he played 25 or more minutes with 14 to 24% usage, cleared in 12 out of the last 13, averaged 17.5 points a game. But we need to include the games where Siakam, Halliburton, and Miles Turner played. Then it doesn't change much. I mean, it does shift. We can see on the screen games with Halliburton, it changes here. Games with Siakam, it changes here. But overall, the big picture doesn't change at all, as he's over still in 12 out of 13 games since the All Star break and still averaging 17.7, over in both games against Cleveland Cavaliers, over in every game against the Bucks in the series. Most of these games he scored 16 plus points. If you look at the line, like if the line was 15 and a half, he covered 15 and a half in 11 out of 13. And we get 12 and a half line. Some will say he shot crazy. Yeah, last game he was 8 from 13, 5 from 8 from 3. Game before that he was 5 from 8. Some of these games mostly like 50% from the field. But when you look at the his season average, he was shooting 51% from the floor, 43 from threes, and 92% from free throw line. So he's in the 15, 40, 90 club. So he is very efficient player. This is not an outlier run from him. He is just that guy. And also playing absolutely amazing defense. Think the Cleveland Cavaliers are like plus close to plus 10 net rating with him on the court, and they are like neutral when he is like minus 0.5 or something like that with him off the court. So they need to play him a ton, especially against if Garland is back. He's one of their best defensive players. So I definitely expect big minutes and good usage. And this is our first bet.
All right, first bet of the day, Aaron Neesmith over 12.5 points, minus 112 at FanDuel, good to minus 120. So more picks coming a little bit later on in the show. Before we get to that, a word from our presenting sponsor here, the FanDuel Sportsbook, still rocking it for the playoffs with their generosity every day. And like I said earlier, Pick and Roll is brought to you by FanDuel. With the playoffs here, if you think you know how it's all going to go down, you can make those predictions pay off with the FanDuel Sportsbook. Just build your perfect parlay, activate the promo boost available that day, and lock in your bet. If it hits, that's a bigger payout for you at no extra cost. For Friday, it's the NBA Reward Stack. So build up your parlay, get this bonus offer in for that bet. Again, boost those odds at no extra cost to yourself. Don't be a spectator this postseason. Head to FanDuel.com/board or go to the link in the description, FanDuel.com/board, to download, America's #1 sportsbook and make every moment more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states or Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right, let's keep it moving. Another game on the slate tonight. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have evened up this series in resounding fashion against the Denver Nuggets. But hey, Denver, you offered them 1-1 coming back to Denver. They would have taken it, and they're 5.5, plus 5.5 from the spread. Denver minus 110 compared to the minus 110, 5.5 for the Thunder, who are favored here. Yeah, a complete, utter beatdown in that game too. But Denver, notoriously a very good home team playing at altitude. How do you think Denver are going to match up for this one, Pips?
This is the most important game of the series. If they get beat here, it's done. So I expect them to be like this is their spot. This is their spot to for the series. Last time we commented on the last game, I said like I wouldn't be surprised if Thunder destroys them in the game too. That happened. I expect some adjustments from Denver. They're playing home, a high altitude. This is it. Like this is the spot for them. They know that. After getting beat by 50, they need momentum on their side. Think this is a close game.
All right.
Uh,
Hopefully we do get a close game. Betting wise, you've also got something for this game ready.
yeah, we are going to bet Russell Westbrook under 4.5 assists.
All right. Going to Russ for the second bet. I'm seeing minus 120 minus 125, excuse me, available at FanDuel for this one, and minus
Widely
125
available. Widely
widely
available.
available as
Yeah.
well.
Every book has the minus 125. So yeah.
All right.
Uh, I just don't see it. I think first time when I seen this, I was like, this is too high. Like the way they are using him, this is just way too high of a line. Like okay, he got the minutes. Like game two, game one, game two against the same thing against the Clippers. He played like he averaging 28 minutes in the playoffs, but he averaged also 3.3 assists. So this line should be 3.5. Doesn't matter the last game. He had 7 potential assists. Like that's. Let me just see. Like the entire season, Russ with 7 potential assists. Just like seeing that stuff, like 7 potential assists. Okay, he covered in one, in 2 out of. But let's see, like 5 to 9. He was under in 56% of the games, had 4.2 assist average, but he had also low passes per game, under 30 in the last game. But let's see when he faces good defensive teams, like yeah, it does goes down, like up down to like 4 assist average and 39%. When we exclude games like against the Wizards and teams where they give easy layups and stuff, then we can see that 50% of his assists come at the rim, and the Thunders are one of the best rim defenses in the league, and very tough matchup for him. So yeah, I just think this line is way too high.
All right, so there's our second bet of the day. Under 4.5 assists for Russell Westbrook, minus 125 available at FanDuel, our presenting sponsor, and many other places if you cannot get over there for whatever reason. But hey, sign up with the link in the description. You should be able to get it, no problem. Bear Commander Go Bears asks, why do you think the series would be over if OKC make it 2-1 today?
Yeah, that's just like a gut feeling. Like you scrape and win game one, then you get completely annihilated in game two. Now you're going home where you have like a huge edge, and you are huge underdog in the series, and this is your spot. And if you lose game three, I really see it difficult for them to climbing back. Well, like you win at home, it's 2-1. Even if you lose next game, you are still up in the series. Like mentally, you are like, okay, 2-2 after 4 games, we can do it. When you go down 2-1 and now playing third game, and it's mentally tough to come back against such a great team like OKC. So I'm just saying, like like looking at for example, they win game one, again one, and then came completely empty in the game two. Like they were like, okay, we won one away game, we are good here. We can afford to lose game two. That's not like approach, but we can see like even from Golden State Warriors, like they win games one, steal game one, like when you are away, and then mentality coming into the game two was horrible. Like they were like, okay, we won for game one, won one game away, we are good, in a good spot, and then completely lack of effort or like anything in the game two. Like they went into this game like we can lose this, and that's very different than yeah. I'm actually annoyed at myself that I didn't combine all the Golden State Warriors starters unders for that game, because I was saying that stuff. That's very possible for with Steve Kerr. And look, how do I explain this? Like Steve Kerr, at one point in the first quarter of the game, had Kuminga, Moody, Pat Spencer, Gary Payton Jr., and Kevon Looney in the first quarter at the same time on the court, and played them for 2 minutes before he called timeout and lost it 12-2. Throw the game. Like it's a lot of mental stuff. in these games. And when you win our first game away, I don't know. Game twos are usually lost by a lot, and we should definitely pay more attention to it moving forward. Just because big same game parlays can be made and money can be made, and the returns could be crazy. I've seen some of my friends' tickets, and they won shitload of money. Just combining like every single starter, points, rebounds, and assists under from Golden State Warriors, and huge spread for Wolves. Like they play like minus 13 and a half or 14 and a half on Wolves, combining with unders for Jimmy Butler points, rebounds, and assists, Buddy Hill points, rebounds. I don't know. Like I've seen some crazy like I don't know plus 3,500 and stuff that won. So yeah, it was a big day. I honestly didn't do anything crazy on the prices, and I'm such annoyed at myself for not taking those shots sometimes. Even I said it, and I forget to combine.
Yeah, it's always a tough one to look back on a big edge that you missed out on. But you live and you learn, and you try to get the next
Yeah,
one. Let's go to the next game. We're actually going to skip the next game. We're going to skip over, go to the Minnesota game instead. We'll go back to the Knicks Boston game in just a second here. But let's start off with the Golden State game that you were just mentioning. We have Golden State +5 on the road. We have Minnesota -5 on the road at Golden State. Minnesota got this series evened up 1-1. We're looking to take advantage here as well. Steph Curry dealing with the hamstring issue, struggling to come up with a concrete timetable for return there. It's always up in the air when it's playoff time. But you talked about this game a little bit already, but there is a bet you want to go to here, and you want to run something back.
yeah. I have no idea what they are doing. I know this is this is not game to today, but we have the show and we are covering the weekend. So I know this is like a ton of time before the next game, but Julius Randle over 18 and a half points, -105. I have no idea why they opened it there. Like last game was complete mistake. It even closed 19 and a half, even though it should be even higher. And now they reopen. He covers in a blowout, and now they just reopened it at 18 and a half.
Same price.
Same line,
Yeah.
better price. It was -115,
Yeah,
I
you're
think,
right,
or minus
actually.
one, and now -1.5, which is I don't know. They have no clue. Sometimes they have no clue. Uh, why they don't have clue? I'll just explain on the playoff stuff. Looking at usage in the playoffs. So, last two games against the Golden State Warriors, he had 25% usage, and last game up to 28% usage. So 25 and 28, and the last two games against the Lakers, 24.5 and 29. So 24 to 29% usage. When we look at the entire season usage, when he had usage between 24% and 29%. So we are doing a very conservative approach here, and looking at the games where he played 30 plus minutes, he covered this line in 85% of the games, 86, averaging 23 points. Just looking at the volume, minutes, this is completely like missed line. Like by of course, like he averaged 23 points on the season. That's not going to happen. Like this was above average efficiency. This is now playoff efficiency. But the line should be at 20 and a half, maybe. Like, okay, maybe 19 and a half. But 18 and a half -105 is just off. Like doesn't make sense. Even we exclude like worse teams, worse defensive teams, like below average teams on defense. He still averaged 22 and a half. We go even further, like 22 and a half, 22 and point 4 against top 10 defense, 22.2 points. That's it. And Golden State Warriors are kind of happy when Julius Randle do so isolation stuff against Raymond Green or Jimmy Butler. Like, that's the shots they want him to take. So yeah, the usage was there. The minutes, even he lost 4 minutes due to the blowout, or 5 minutes in the game. Still ended up at 24. So yeah, I think this is a great look.
All right, there we go. Over 18.5 once again for Julius Randle, minus 105. I'm with you there. I think it's going to close much better. I guess like it's an away game. Maybe that factors into the price going down a bit. But like you
I
said, it
think it's
closed
better.
19.
I
He
think
had
it's better that
24. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's better that it's away game, less chance of a blowout. Like
Yeah.
there is no Steph. So we can also check the home and away. I have no idea. Uh, never checked it, but at home 20.5, away 20.2. Like no difference whatsoever. Like he is not playing worse at home or away, so it's the same. So shouldn't affect him. Some players, we know some players, especially some role players, huge swings home and away, but guys like Randall, it's the same play type.
Okay, one more game to discuss today. It is the Boston Celtics, who, by the way, are down 2-0 to the New York Knicks, have lost both games at home. Yet, I'm going to double check this is still true. What I checked yesterday was, yes, the Boston Celtics are favored to win this series. They're down 2-0. They're going away from home for 2 consecutive games. They are favored to win this series very slightly. They're minus 116 at FanDuel, and Knicks are minus 102. But Pips, down to nothing. Do you think the Celtics should still be favored? Very slow. It's like 51% favored.
Makes sense that it's at 50-50 because it's like playing with their food most of the games. I sometimes hate myself for being like I have some vision for teams, and then I look at the numbers and some like data and completely ignore how I see players and how I see teams, and then lean into stuff like, oh, but Boston will win this in 5. When I, in fact, absolutely know that how do you beat Boston Celtics is playing switch and taking away everything from them, and then they are in panic mode and they do poorly. Exactly what happened in game 1 and game 2. And even though I think that, I ended up saying, Boston will win in 5 because the numbers are saying, like the books are saying it, like the prices are there, and I got like I don't know how to even say it, but I got I don't know what's the word, so I won't even try, but uh, it influenced my opinion seeing what are the prices on the books. But I coming into the series, I didn't think uh, Tips will do it. I didn't think Tips will prepare for it well because he's old and never adjusts, but he definitely adjusted for this series. Uh, Unbelievable effort, unbelievable game from the Knicks. I was talk about this is the most interesting matchup for me. So I'll talk about the idea of Knicks defense is we switch and we are happy with isolation because both Jalen Brown and Tatum, when they isolate, they set up for mid range, set up for pull up threes, set up for step back threes. They are not isolating, getting to the line, getting to the rim. So what ends up happening when they try to drive, they send gap help, nail help, and then don't let them to get to the rim, and then they step back and shoot threes and middies. And if they continue to do that, and if they don't attack the rim, Knicks can win every single game. Like it's just shooting variance at that point. Like you are taking shots, you are not scoring any easy points, and it's what it is. Next game could be threes are falling and Boston blows them out by 30. That's completely possible, huge possibility for it in the game 3. But I would say the Boston Celtics shot the most threes in the entire playoffs so far, and they are second last in the wide open rate. So they are getting threes, but they are not wide open, at least not huge percentage of them. So it's not like, oh, they are just shooting poorly. They are playing poorly. So yeah, I could talk about this series a lot because it's so many stuff, but it's up to Tatum just to get the fucking rim most of the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what sort of adjustment Boston make. They've been pretty like, look, they've been a great 3-point shooting team all season. They just haven't been following the playoffs. Like, how much do you think Missoula reacts, if at all, to the first 2 games?
From what I've seen in the press conferences, Not much.
Right.
Also, we know their run last season. They played Miami. Uh, they played injured Cavs. They played Pacers. This Knicks team is the best team they faced. Like finals, Dallas after 7 game series to the Thunder came into the like lagging and like hurt. This is probably the best team they faced over the last 2 seasons. And Knicks are like above average team. Like they're not like one of the best teams. They're now playing very good, but coming into the playoffs, no one thought like, oh, Knicks are contenders.
Right.
So yeah, but it's very interesting the thing that happened with Cavs, the thing that happened with injury of Steph Curry on the other side. Like the league is wide open. Like so, it will be even though if like Boston wins and then they play next round Cavs, Cavs could be like missing a couple of players, and it's I don't know. Like it's yeah.
Cavs have to get there too. They're
Yeah.
not favored to win that series at this point. So, but yeah, block and change. The playoffs been crazy, so we can't count anything out. But you think Boston will win Game 3 here?
Yes.
All right. Well, I have to agree.
Some shots must fall, and I do think maybe not Mazzulla change, but I think Tatum
Tatum, yeah.
and Brown needs to get more to the rim. So like okay, it's just one more thing, and I'll move on. Like there is like a thing when teams are playing switch, and then when you try to drive, they send the nail help and playing kind of a zone in front of you and filling the gaps, and it's difficult to get to the rim. You are not going to get to the rim every single time you try. Like that's clear as day. But there was a couple of times when Tatum was like 1 feet away from the rim. There was some like town stand from 5 feet away, completely zero chance he gets to contest, and Tatum will just kick out to the three. In those spots, and it happened like 5 times in a game. That's 5 layups. That's 10 points. That's the margin. That's the margin to win. One more layup, and they win the game. So I think they will fill those gaps in the game 3 and end up winning the game.
All right, that will do it for us on the analysis. Let's go to you guys in the chat. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you do smash the like button, especially if you're telling the picks. Please give us some extra support today. Let's go back to that Cavs game because Jelko wants to ask about Donovan Mitchell over 29.5 points at -111. Is this still a good pick for today's game?
Yeah, I think it is. I'll go to the last game. So you remember that I said like first game of the series was the season high in usage.
Yeah.
It was at 42%, and then the season high usage increased from 42% to 46%. So it is by far the season high. They were down players, so he needed to take. But now they are down 2 in the series. He completely like by far the best player on the court. He played amazing even in the game 2, 48 points. What changes for the game 3? Like, is he going to take a step back down 2-0? I don't think so. The minutes from Ty Jerome will be, who was 1 from 14, will be in a couple of turnovers, will be just Garland getting those looks mostly. So do I think his usage goes down? Probably. Like won't be 46%, will probably be 36%. But let's look at the games when he played, had 30+% usage. 30+% usage and playing 32+ minutes. He averaged 31.5 points and over in 70% of the games. If we go a bit further, let's say 30% or more usage, which is definitely going to happen. I'm like 100% positive. He's over in 15 out of 19 and averaging 33 points. So do I still think there is some value on this line? Definitely. Yeah.
All right. Still value for Mitchell over points. How about Aaron Gordon under 17.5 points for the Nuggets game? I'm seeing minus from 15, but mostly minus 125 range.
I have a small issue with this one. Last game, it was a huge blowout. He played only 27 minutes, but the usage was through the roof. Like he had 20% usage, which is above average for him. So let's say he has 18. I will go specific, like 18 usage to 24%, which is kind of expected for this game, looking at his usage, and then taking a look for 30 plus minutes. This is it. If we get 23 points average over in 13 out of 14 games, over with that kind of usage in every single game against the Clippers. Maybe if we adjust usage, like let's say down to 16%, it's still 21%, 21 points average. First game against the Thunder, he covered this with 70% usage, scored 22 points on average efficiency. So if you think it's a blowout, then sure. But if he gets 40 minutes, which he should get in this game, maybe even 42, 44, with average usage, this line is actually too low. Last game, he had 10 points in 15 less minutes than he will get today, shooting 1 from 10, 1 from 9 inside the paint. 1 from 9. So if he makes like 4 out of 9, he's almost there. 5 out of 9 is probably average. He's already at 18 points. So additional 15 minutes should be, yeah, I don't like it, uh, unfortunately.
Okay. Let's move to the next one. How about SGA over 32.5 points?
Yeah, betting over Sanderson stars in these games is like, is he going to make every shot? Is he going to miss? Like, I don't think there is any value in betting on these kind of lines, especially overs. Last game he did score 34. Let's go to the SGA just to show something. Last game he did score 34 points. He had playoff low usage. He had usage only 27.8%. If you take a look at the season, when he has that kind of usage, let's say between 28 and 26 and 30, he's under in, let's add minutes, 30 plus, maybe even 32 plus minutes. He is under in 10 out of 15, averaging 31. So it's mostly just they are going to double him. They are going to send help a ton. So I'm not betting the overs. He shot 11 from 13 last game. Made every free throw. Like that's 100% true shooting. That's not happening.
Okay. Then we'll move to Nikola Jokic under 9.5 assists at 1.7. So 1.7 in American odds is minus 143.
I think they played more zone in the game too, and Jokic had more potential assists and passes made. Now at home, price is minus 140 something. I don't like if they end up doubling, when they change something up and that's playing more zone and more doubles, and they win by 50, I think they are going to stick with it, maybe even increase the rate. So yeah, I'm not a fan.
All right. And on the same game, popular game here, Isaiah Hartenstein over 10.5 points, minus 125.
Yeah, this a bit adjusted.
Yeah.
9.5 game one, game two. I bet on it. 10.5. That's he usually scores his floaters or dunks. So now he needs 6 instead of 5. I think it's a huge difference. His line going from 9.5 to 10.5. I think at 9.5 it's a clear as day play. Like I would probably bet it on the show if it was 9.5. 10.5 I lean over, but I think it's a huge difference. So yeah.
Okay. And actually, one more. Let's say on this game, OKC -5 is a question for the spread. I personally don't see this line at -5, but if you have it, would you consider playing this? If you have it, you'll get good CLV pretty much if you play it.
Yeah, no. I mean, -5 just from getting the best price is a good bet, but
Yeah.
Do I think -5.5 is a play for OKC? I don't. I said like this is the game. I expect this to be a close game, and then yeah, we'll go against my narrative, I would say. So numbers and numbers, and sometimes I need to trust more my instincts. So maybe I'm wrong and they win by 30. It's okay, but do think they're there. This is the spot for them to push the limits to win this one.
One more player prop question here. That Persian guy asked about the rebounds market for Mitchell Robinson over 5.5 at -125. Noting Towns is always a foul trouble candidate, but also like Robinson was great in game 2. That's coming from me. So what do you think, Pips?
Yeah, I looked into it before the show. Was kind of leaning to bet it. Pulled out last minute because he gets benched so much because of foul free throw line. I don't know if you remember from the last game when Mazzulla they fouled Mitchell Robinson, but they were 2 fouls away from the bonus. So need to foul 3 times to get him to the line, and they fouled him once. And OG Anunoby was on the table to go back in, and then Tibbs called him off, waited that they foul second time on Robinson, then they pulled him off. It was fun to see Tibbs being the guy who did it, who has done it. So yeah, he is definitely playing the last 2 minutes of every quarter because they can foul, they can put him on the line. But if Towns is not in foul trouble, don't think they can play him more than like 18 minutes, especially if they are
Yeah, the issue is just getting hacked, as you said.
Yeah, and he's shooting like for 35% from the free throw line, so that's like a free edge for the Celtics. They'll put Cornet in just to foul out on Mitchell Robinson, and that's the issue. So I'm not like ceiling is, yeah, I don't know. Towns, if like this is a ceiling spot, maybe bet 8+ rebounds. If Towns gets in foul trouble and Robinson gets like 20+ minutes, and then yeah. Also, he covered in the huge rebounds in the game 1 and game 2 because Boston couldn't make a shot. So if you expect Boston to win game 3, then probably more shots need to fall and less rebounding chances then. But yeah, the on-off ratings with Mitchell Robertson are out of the world. Like he's like plus, I don't know, 15, 20, plus 20 with Towns, I think, or something. Huge numbers. I honestly forgot, but I know that I've seen some huge numbers. So they definitely need to lean into playing him, but it's tough when they just foul him.
Yeah, absolutely. Last question for you. People have noted your Props Madness merch wearing the sweater today. Is any getting released to the public?
Not soon, but at some time definitely. Yeah, this is like first version. We just did it like simple. We'll do some other versions, and then we'll probably end up putting it up. Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right. So keep an eye out for that, but keep an eye out for us here at the Board YouTube channel by subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed the stream today, please make sure you do smash that like button. Let's have a winning weekend here. 3 official picks for you to tail. We had Aaron Nesmith over 12.5 points, which we got for -112 at FanDuel, but it was good to -120, was widely available around that number and even better than that, so -115 area, but -112 at FanDuel. Our second play, Russell Westbrook under 4.5 assists. We played for -125 at FanDuel. I'll be honest, that was very widely available when we gave it out. It is absolutely blasted since we gave it out. I'm like, unfortunately, yeah, this one is just gone. -150, the best price right now, which at this point probably cannot tail. But we got it -125. So live viewers got it first. Then finally, Minnesota at Golden State. We have Julius Randle over 18.5 points, running that back at an even better price than the last stream when it won. Yes, we should be back on Monday for more shows like this. So make sure you guys keep it locked. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell, and we'll see you again very, very soon for more from Pick and Roll presented by FanDuel.